Okay, so who are you and where do you work?
My name is Vanessa Perez and I work at Sunnyside High School and I've been here for almost 10 years. I'm a resource assistant.
Perfect. And who do you work with at Sunnyside?
This year I work with the special ed teachers in Algebra 1 and Biology, and in previous years I've worked with general ed teachers, English and math classes, special ed teachers, and also the students, resource students and general ed students, and case managers.
Perfect. And what does your schedule look like?
This year it's the Algebra 1 inclusion class. No. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And a biology inclusion class.
Perfect. And what are some strategies that you use with students when you're working in the classrooms?
In the classrooms, I will repeat directions that teachers have already given out. Sometimes I will also take the notes that the teachers are putting up on the board for students who are either slow taking their notes or maybe even have vision problems. So then I can hand them my notes and they can copy them.
Perfect. Awesome. And when you're interacting with the students, what does that look like? What does your interaction look like normally?
I walk around, I let the teachers give their directions and instructions. Like I said, I will repeat some of them if I notice students aren't focused. I try to make sure that they're on task, taking their notes or doing their assignments, and also listening to the lectures because, you know, especially high school students, they like to play with their electronics.
Perfect. And if you could give advice to someone just now entering the profession, what would you tell them?
I think it would have to be mostly to be honest with the instructors that you work with what things you are comfortable doing, and also to look at your notes.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing would be patience, not mostly with the students, but also sometimes you can have teachers who aren't very well organized or don't really like to have do the behavior management in the classrooms. And just remember that we're all different, so you have to get a feel for each teacher that you work with if you work with multiple ones.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so tell us your name and how long have you worked here?
My name is Sarah Prieto, and I have worked at Sunnyside for 3 years. This will be my 3rd year.
Perfect. And what do you do here? What does your day look like?
Well, in the morning, I have biology for one period. It's a general inclusion class. And then in the afternoon, rotating days, depending on the block schedule, I either go to a general inclusion U.S. history or geometry class.
Perfect. And what do your interactions with the students look like? What is it, when you're in the classes with them, what are you doing?
A range of things, but it varies from keeping them on top of being organized to understanding what they're supposed to be doing, understanding the material, or just helping them with whatever they need.
Perfect. And if you had advice for someone who was just starting out in this profession, what would you tell them?
Be prepared for everything that can come at you. The kids are pretty great. I'm very lucky to have the students I have, but you do experience a lot of behavior issues that you definitely have to handle, and not even that they're issues, just behavior differences with each student and different learning abilities with each student. It varies between what they can understand or what they do understand versus, oh my gosh, I totally get this. This is up my alley. So you have to kind of be prepared for everything and be able to, if they say, okay, you've explained this once, I still don't get it. You've explained this twice, I still don't get it. Be able to continuously rephrase everything and so they understand their material.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Tell us your name, how long you've worked here at Sunnyside, and how long you've been in education.
My name is Kim Vestal. I've worked here at Sunnyside for 10 years and in education for about 27 years. And I am the Special Education Department Chair.
Perfect. So what can someone coming into the profession of paraprofessional, what can they expect at a new site?
At a new site, you're going to have to meet all the new people, and you're going to have to be prepared to learn a bunch of new student names and figure out your schedule. When you first come to the site, you need to find your contact person, either the department chair or a lead teacher, and you need to get an overview of your schedule so that you can understand exactly where you're supposed to be at any given time. I also suggest getting a bell schedule and a campus map right away so that you are prepared for whatever comes up. Once you have your schedule, you need to introduce yourself to the new teachers, and then eventually you'll get to know the students.
Perfect. What skills do you think that you need to bring as a paraprofessional to this job?
A whole bag full of things. You need to bring some self-confidence, the ability to walk up to new adults that you haven't met before and introduce yourself and let them know what your position is and that you're happy to be there. You also need to bring a lot of patience, whether you're working with secondary or elementary students. There's going to be a lot of patience involved in different ways. You also need to bring some flexibility with you and the ability to adapt to changing bell schedules and changing needs of the students and maybe being moved from teacher to teacher, because when it comes down to it, you're here for the students. You're not here for one set schedule. You're here to be where you need to be.
I know you have experience at the elementary level as well as the high school level. Are there any differences in what a paraprofessional does at the two different levels, or what skills they need to have?
There are differences. The skill sets are very similar. It's just adapted for maturity level. At the elementary level, you're more likely to be in one classroom all of the time, maybe two classrooms, but you're probably going to stay with one certain teacher and work with a set group of kids all day, every day. If you're working at middle school level, it's going to be similar somewhat because there are more pull-out self-contained classes for the students and they're more likely to be in one spot longer. If you get to the high school level, it's a whole lot more fun in my opinion, but also you're going to be moving around a lot. You're going to be working with different teachers, 3 to 6 different teachers in a day, and you're going to be working with a whole lot of different students, and you have an opportunity to use a wide range of skills. And you don't have to be worried in any of the settings about whether or not you're an expert in math or an expert in English. You're there more to support the students and the teachers than to teach them. That's the teacher's job.
So what advice would you give to a paraprofessional who's been placed at a site and isn't necessarily on the same page as the teacher they're working with, and there might be conflict with whom the person they're working with?
Of course, because we're human, there are bound to be personality conflicts from time to time. My best advice for that situation is to try to work it out yourself, first of all. Make the best of it. If there are certain demands or requests on your time or in your position that you're uncomfortable with, you just need to let the person know. If you are uncomfortable with their teaching style or the way that they deal with the students, then you may have to go to someone higher, a vice principal that's over the teacher, special ed or general ed depending, or you might possibly have to even go all the way to the special ed office if you can't find any resolution for your situation. You're not there at the beck and call of the teacher. You are there to assist and support the teacher and the students. Your role is extremely important in the classroom, and it's important that you're comfortable with your work site.
Perfect. So, new person, they're going to their interview soon, they're going to get hired as a paraprofessional. What advice would you give to them, just in general?
My best advice would be to go in with confidence, knowing that you have had a lot of training, especially this one, and also get all the training that you can while you can. Once you're placed at a site, it's very difficult to get more training. There will be some required sessions and situations that you'll go to, but get everything you can now. If you can add to your bag of tricks, you're going to be far better prepared than someone who has not gone through the additional training. And just remember that you are good at what you do, and you do know what you're doing, and you're going to be amazing.
Perfect.